Hello guys, my name is Alex and once again I'm here against all odds with another Throne and Liberty video. I will start by saying thank you to everybody that watched my video, thank you for all the comments and thank you for all the support. Thank you for subscribing. In the last 2 days I have gained more subscribers than I got in like 2 straight months. I'm a tiny YouTuber that makes videos for enjoyment, and usually, even though deep in my heart I'm a guy that plays almost anything, MMOs are my core gaming genre. That being said, I will stop boring you and continue with the video. Since the last video regarding Throne and Liberty has such a good response, I could not answer to all of your questions unfortunately. That's why I decided to dedicate this video trying to answer to a few more of your questions that were posted in my last video. Before anything, I want to start by saying that I do not consider myself a developer. I do not consider myself on top of any other player playing any kind of game. I am a humble person deep inside of me. The only thing that I was trying to say even in my past video was that the hate towards the game is a bit unnecessary. That being said, let's dive into it. The first comment that I'm going to try to answer to comes from Bruno Miranda. Wait, regarding the archer, impossible to catch, so what happens to all other games that have a running archer? Have you heard of Gap Closer, for example? The game is a total disappointment, not only because of the superbly bad combat, but all the other things. I'm also not a kid, have my own life, and it's not hard sometimes to get some time to play. But it doesn't mean I don't want to play at all like this game. I want to play, not watch my character play. Okay, so I'm going to start with the easy part, running archers. So, in my past video, I even started my sentence saying what I think the Throne and Liberty developers are trying to do here, which means that judging by the story that TL is going to be some kind of a sequel to Lineage 2, this might be the reason. What got me to this conclusion? Well, many of the game aspects are very look-alike to Lineage 2. If you don't believe me, look any kind of former Lineage 2 player and you ask him to take a look at the live gameplay video and you will see that I am absolutely right. The second comment comes from Bush. Seeing the combat was initially a big disappointment for me, since all the hype till this point was saying this was going to be a Black Desert competitor, so I was expecting BDO style, a combat, not top targeting. I'm saying that I will still be playing this. So, my answer is as follows. What I think many people got wrong with this idea is the fact that Throne and Liberty was supposedly a competitor to BDO, but not in the combat section. Please try to think to another open world PvP MMORPG game. And please don't tell me New World. Throne and Liberty is going to compete with BDO when it comes to systems of gameplay. PvP, mass PvP, open world bosses, dungeons, castle sieges, mini raids, you name it. To explain myself in another way of speaking, in this game you will have to compete for everything. Fight and earn your right to kill a boss, own a castle, own a city and so on. Name another game with this system besides BDO and TL. None. The third question we are going to read comes from Leo. If you enjoy hard leveling games, autoplay should be the opposite idea of that. What's the point of making the game grindy, I think he was trying to say, and hard to level if you will autoplay through it? Make it easier from the get-go. A very quick explanation was described even in my last video. The autoplay option you will probably never use in game as long as you are next to your PC, besides the early stages. Why is that? There is too much content that waits to be done for you to stay an AFK watching the screen seamless. The only thing that everybody will need, a couple of friends to play the game with and you are good to go. Sitting in one spot farming 50 XP per mob instead of going with your friends in a populated catacomb or dungeon to farm and get 150 XP per mob would be ludicrous. I have watched people streaming TL and trust me, the advantages you gain while farming with a party of people in those kind of places is way higher. Now the only problem remains to find friends to play with. And this is what I really loved about Lineage 2 as well. I'm truly sorry for solo players, for people that like to enjoy the game alone. It's going to be hard for them, but this game, same like other games of this type, are simply not made to be played alone. It compels you to make friends, look for parties, communicate with other people and transform this game experience into a fun group experience. In dungeons and catacombs like that, you will meet other parties ready to take your spot, ready to banish you away from the farming spot you have. And this is where the fun begins. AFKing or auto hunting won't work when you will play that part of the game. I will repeat for the last time. The auto attack option was only added inside the game because of the standards of today. Nobody would have the patience to stay and grind so much. Even if you have players saying, I would have gladly grind without auto attack, those people are full of shit. So, fourth question comes from Mo. Game was advertised differently. I see no reason to play this over video. Also, gameplay looks like shit, and that's enough for me and many others to feel that we were bamboozled, especially after the launch trailer. I also have a job and a life. That doesn't mean I don't want to play good games. And again, my answer is as follows. Everywhere I see the same thing. The game was presented like this and now is garbage. Everybody saying this sentence, please take a look back to the trailer. They have never presented you a skill that is not static. They have never showed you something that is not in the game. The strange thing about this is that with many other games, you have YouTubers and many other social media people that are dissecting and studying many game trailers from scratch. But with this game, nobody did it. I must admit, they did set some things that normally they shouldn't have. They mislead a bit the audience, but you guys must understand that this game for NCSoft is just a business. Misleading and trying to sell cars without a wheel had happened before, but this game people in my opinion are just over-exaggerating with blasting hate over NCSoft. So the fifth question comes from Mugen. I think it's Mugen. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correct. Please excuse me if I'm not. So it's not just range classes that have to stand still to use ability though. All of them are like that. So as soon as a melee catches up to a range, he'll have to stand in place to use his skills too. And the range can just move away in that time. Well, here you are wrong, Mugen. Mugen. I have no idea how your name has to be spelled. I'm sorry. So every single class has a skill that helps him to engage and to get closer to the target. The daggers will have Blink Strike, a skill which teleports you behind the enemy. The Weapon Master, I have seen that they will have some kind of a rush skill that pushes you towards the enemy. The problem is that those skills can only be casted from a certain range, and trying to activate those skills, you need to get closer to the enemy. When you are on the top of the enemy, let's make it like that, you can apply 2, 3, even 4 hits before he can start running again. Here, I'm going to present to you a short video with an archer party against a dagger party. As you can see in the following video, the daggers, even if the archer is starting to run, they can still apply 1 or 2 hits to the archer, because for them to hit, they need to stop and cast their arrows. This video is a very good example that positioning is very important for a party made full of archers. They couldn't have kited because the raid were behind them, so they were of course exterminated by the daggers party. Imagine if they could shoot their arrows while running. The daggers would have stand no chance. Okay, the sixth question comes from Peter, and here we are only going to focus on the third point that he is explaining in this comment. I'm sure Throne and Liberty will have players, but honestly it doesn't look good as a game receiving this much backlash already from the Western audience who have tried it thus far. I mean, even South Korean players, I have heard, are upset with what was released for beta. I hope that NCSoft will receive all this feedback and take the time to fix and change these glaring problems before they finally release the game globally. This is a very delicate topic. Me being a normal gaming YouTuber, I never even intended to make a video like my first one regarding Throne and Liberty. But the bad backlash from the other content creators, the big ones, made me do my first video. As a Lineage 2 fan, I know that many people are going to have a hard time adjusting with the movement combat from the game. I know the game has some flaws, but trust me, it still remains a very good game. What the most of content creators are doing is creating drama and pushing more people away from the game. After I saw the videos regarding the gameplay in TL, I was a bit concerned as well, that the audience won't receive this new for them combat system well. But I know for a fact that even with this system applied to the game, some people will see the amazing part that TL has to offer. But because most of the streamers, YouTubers, content creators live and breathe drama, for them it's just another video that brings views. But for people like me and like other ex-Lineage 2 players that know and have played this type of game, it's a bit disappointing that we are going to lose so many people that after seeing some video from some huge content creator, they will turn their backs to the game even without trying it. I would have never struggled so much if I wouldn't knew that this game has potential. I saw streamers hating the game, hating the combat, hating the auto attack, but still playing the game while complaining, and slowly getting attached to it and starting to enjoy playing the game, exploring, making friends, and even griefing and laughing while killing other players. This game has potential. It's sad that so many people are not even going to give it a shot. My last comment that I'm going to present here comes from Queen. I think making grinding boring and necessary just means it's a shit game design. Making it rewarding and quick is the way to go. So, making it quick and rewarding. This is exactly what Lost Ark did. And you found yourself after 1 week of farming, making it to level max, spamming the same damn dungeons and raids over and over again, adding a new raid boss after 1 or 2 months, and there is your new content. The process of farming should be long and hard, and full of bumps. That is the way that you are going to feel proud of yourself after reaching max level. And if somebody here thinks that auto attack will help you to reach that high, trust me, you are making a huge mistake. AFK farming will only get you so far. Eventually you will be forced for a better gaming experience to go and make friends, build clans, engage with others and find other options of farming. The astral hunting process will only be a tool used in worst case scenarios, and the reward of AFK farming won't be so great either. At the end, I do have a positive comment to answer to, because from all the backlash and all the dirt people are throwing on this game, some people still have a bit of common sense and think twice before listening to the influencers before taking a decision. Finally, someone that says some stuff that is more than just complaining, as other self-claimed big MMO streamers are doing at the moment, with their echo chambers agreeing with everything they say without a second of a doubt. Asmongold, Force Gaming, Steparu, etc. or thinking for themselves for that part. So, Raven, after my opinion, is perfectly right, and is exactly the point I was trying to do. Exactly the reason I even did my first video to start from. I think you guys should give the game a chance. Just try it. From what I know, it's going to be a free-to-play game. You have nothing to lose. Find friends, try the game, and see for yourself if it's something that is worth your time or not. Stop listening to what other people are preaching. I'm not saying that everything in this game is perfect. I'm only saying that the game has some very amazing parts that nobody brings up. Nobody cares about what the game could be, everyone only complains about what the game shows us to be for the moment. That being said, thank you guys for watching, leave a like if you enjoyed, a dislike if you didn't. I am Alex and I wish you a lovely day. Probably we will meet each other inside the game.